You know Uncle from Jackie Chan Adventures, right? The wise
Yeah.
but cranky old guy. Always got a spell ready.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Well, here's something that might just surprise you, maybe. Before all the chi magic and fighting demons, rumor has it, Uncle was, well, quite the disco dancer.
Disco. Seriously, that's unexpected,
Right.
especially for someone so, traditional.
Exactly. It kind of shows there's more layers there, doesn't it?
It really does.
And that's what we're diving into today. We're going to take a really deep look at the one and only Uncle, using all the great info from the Jackie Chan Adventures wiki.
Which is like an amazing resource for this stuff. Fans really document everything.
Totally. Think of this as your fast track to becoming an Uncle expert. We'll hit his personality, the magic, the funny tech, fails, the whole package for this, well, fan favorite character.
Yeah, it's incredible how much detail you can find on these wikis.
Yeah.
They really capture characters like Uncle, who honestly often steals the show with just like one line.
Right. So our mission today is pretty clear. Let's really unpack what makes Uncle, well, Uncle. By the end, you'll definitely have a deeper appreciation for this grumpy but, undeniably powerful chi wizard.
And his role in the whole Jackie Chan adventure story.
Okay, let's get into it.
So foundationally, Uncle's the tritagonist, right? The third key character alongside Jackie and Jade.
Right. And he's Jackie's older relative, though they never quite pin down how exactly. Uncle works fine.
It does, and he lives in San Francisco, runs that antique shop in Chinatown, which is basically a main setting for the show, really.
Oh, definitely. So much happens there. But it's not just an antique shop, is it?
Not at all. He's a seriously skilled chi wizard. When the bad guys show up, he's the magic expert they need.
Yeah, and the two-fingered slap.
Yeah.
Can't forget that.
Never. Or the one more thing.
Yeah. Yeah, his signature moves.
And it's interesting, pretty much everyone calls him Uncle.
Yeah, you mentioned that. It's not always literal family, right? It's more respect.
Exactly. That's a common thing in Chinese culture, addressing older men that way. It really shows his role as, like, the elder, the advisor to everyone in that group.
The found family patriarch, almost.
Kind of, yeah, even if he complains a lot.
Okay, let's talk looks. He's got a very distinct appearance. Older guy, average height, kind of skinny.
Mm-hmm. And that gray, spiky hair. You can't miss it.
Definitely not. And the outfit, white polo, yellow vest over it, blue jeans, brown shoes.
And the glasses, those little round armless glasses.
Oh.
Classic Uncle.
Totally.
And even when you see him younger in flashbacks, the core look is there. Same build, similar face.
It's just black hair instead of gray, right? And a slightly different outfit, more monochrome.
Yeah, black shirt, black shoes, but still recognizably Uncle.
And apparently this is a fun detail. He had brown hair as a toddler, then dyed it black.
Starting young with the style choices.
Guess so. Now, personality. People call him Uncle, obviously, but Toru calls him Sensei.
All right, which makes sense. Teacher, mentor, it fits their dynamic.
Hmm.
Toru becomes his apprentice in magic later on.
That makes sense. And everyone else sticks with Uncle, showing that broader respect thing again.
Exactly. It's a neat cultural mix in how he's addressed. Sensei for that specific student-teacher thing, Uncle for his general elder status.
He does lean into some, well, stereotypical Chinese mannerisms sometimes. Speaking in the third person.
Uncle needs tea.
Yeah. And drawing out words using Cantonese phrases like,
Which, I mean, yeah, it plays on stereotypes a bit, but it also adds cultural flavor, and honestly, a lot of the humor comes from it.
True. It makes him feel distinct. And then there's the crankiness. Oh boy.
He can complain about anything.
Seriously. The smallest thing set him off. But here's the funny part. Despite all the grumbling, he's usually the wisest one there.
That contrast is perfect. Grumpy old man on the outside, deep wisdom inside. It makes his wise moments hit harder,
Definitely. Like when he complains about his tea,
Always. It's always too hot or too cold, never just right. He takes that one sip
and then dramatically throws the cup down.
every time. And his favorite food, the mung bean sandwich.
Right. Specific taste.
These little details, the tea, the sandwich, they make him feel more real, less just the wise magic guy.
Gives him quirks. He also jumps to conclusions like incredibly fast.
Oh, yeah. And the funny thing is, he's often right.
But when he's wrong, it's spectacular. Like thinking El Toro was robbing him.
Huh. Yes. Or complaining about the hotel not having, like, dried lizard for a spell.
It keeps him from being infallible, makes him funnier.
Definitely adds that comedic relief and keeps him relatable, even with all the magic.
And we have to talk about the two-fingered strike. The head slap.
Iconic. Jackie gets it constantly.
But not just Jackie. He's done it to Valmont, Captain Black, even Delon Wong, I think.
Yeah, even the big bads aren't safe. It's like his ultimate move of disapproval.
He even did it to himself once in a dream, didn't he?
I think so. And those dream sequences where his head is just floating there.
Giving advice, then bam, another slap. Hilarious. It shows how much he's always kind of looming over them, even subconsciously.
Yeah, his influence is constant.
Tech-wise, though, not so much influence. He's completely lost.
Oh, totally. Faxes are baffling. Laptops are...
Magic waffle irons.
Exactly. The internet. Might as well be dark magic.
But the weird thing is, he gets sending spells through a phone line. But not, like, email.
It's a funny contradiction, isn't it? It shows his understanding is rooted in, like, chi principles, not electronics.
Ancient wisdom versus modern tech. A big theme.
Definitely. And his magic usually wins out over gadgets anyway.
And just when you think you have him pegged, grumpy magic guy, tech hater, boom, secret oil painter.
Yay, that comes out later. Such a nice little addition, shows a whole other side.
The contemplative side beneath the complaining.
Yeah. And speaking of mysteries, his actual first name.
Never revealed. Even Jade's parents just call him Uncle.
It really solidifies that role, doesn't it? He's defined by being Uncle, the elder, not by an individual name.
Adds to his mystique. Okay, so history. We think he was born around 1922. Year of the dog.
Seems likely, based on what Jackie says in what episode. And the antique shop used to be an 8-track store.
Talk about a change. Shows he's been around that San Francisco spot for a while.
Decades, yeah. And his magic training started with Master Pham.
Right. But before magic, he was in the Seven Little Fortunes opera troupe. Like the real Jackie Chan.
Exactly. That Peking opera background. Trained in opera school before switching to chi magic as a teenager.
That's amazing. Maybe that's where the dramatic flair comes from.
Could be. And it's a great connection to the real Jackie. Plus, he wasn't just performing.
He was a skilled martial artist in his youth, too, right? Like, really good.
Supposedly as agile as young Jackie, later on he switched to those nerve strikes.
You want a piece of Uncle?
That's the one. Delivered right before he takes someone down with, like, 2 fingers, it shows how he adapted his skills with age. Smart fighting.
Still formidable, just different. And he claims he won a Mahjong tournament in Hong Kong in '55.
Huh. A man of many hidden talents. Adds to the colorful history. Shows a strategic mind, too. Probably helps with magic.
Makes sense. Okay, let's get into the magic itself. His chi expertise is, well, everything. And that incantation.
You mo gigua fei di zao.
Yes. Evil demons and malevolent spirits be gone. It's just so Uncle.
Totally iconic. And being in Cantonese really grounds his character culturally.
And his tools.
Yeah.
The dried salamander and the puffer fish.
Which apparently have roots in actual Asian remedies, which is a neat touch.
He uses them all the time with the incantation, right? For spells, fighting.
Yeah, constantly. It makes his magic feel less arbitrary, like it's based on real-world traditions, sort of.
And the magic itself usually looks like that green energy.
Mm-hmm. He can shoot blasts from the salamander or pufferfish, like a magic wand almost. Stuns demons, makes them vanish.
It's his visual signature. You see green energy, you know Uncle's involved.
Definitely. And he can feel magic too, right? The dark chi.
Uncle has the willies.
Exactly. That 6th sense for trouble, it really emphasizes his role as the magical guardian.
He's tuned in. And we mentioned the martial arts, but it's worth hitting again. Young Uncle, super fighter. Older Uncle.
Nerve strikes, precision over power, shows that lifelong dedication, just adapted.
Right. And remember when he got the dog talisman power up?
Oh yeah, suddenly he was like unstoppable. Super strength, super speed, taking out Toru and Hakufu easily.
Gave us a glimpse of his potential if age wasn't a factor.
Yeah, showed the raw power he still kind of has, just usually held back by, well, being old.
But then, surprisingly, he's also kind of an inventor. The Kiomatic. Heck, astral projection glasses.
I know, right? Unexpected. Shows his intelligence isn't just mystical. He's got a practical problem-solving side, too. Tinkering away in the back room.
A hidden inventor streak. Love it. But he does have weaknesses, obviously.
Age is the big one. He's not as mobile. Relies on Jackie and Toru for the heavy lifting, physically.
Yeah, you see him worry about dropping things, needing help moving. It makes him more grounded.
Relatable, yeah. Even powerful wizards get old.
Though, he does sometimes pull off surprising moves, hopping onto Toru, taking hits from villains.
He's definitely tougher than he looks sometimes. Got that inner strength, that determination, not afraid to get in the mix.
True. But the biggest weakness, maybe the funniest one, is technology.
Oh, absolutely clueless. We talked about the waffle iron.
Any glitch, any normal machine function he doesn't understand.
It's dark magic. must be destroyed.
His paranoia about machines is hilarious, always trying to smash the fax machine or the computer.
It's such a great running gag, really highlights that traditional worldview clashing with modernity.
And one more kind of specific weakness, he's allergic to cats.
Right. No cat familiars for Uncle. Adds another little quirk.
Okay, quotes. This is where Uncle really shines. So many good ones we got to start with.
One more thing.
Has to be. Always right when you think the conversation's over. Drops some crucial info or gives another chore.
It's perfectly him. A little manipulative, but ultimately helpful, usually.
And his core belief, magic must defeat magic.
Yes, and all the variations on that, plus the random hotcha.
Huh. Yeah, where does that come from? But it fits his energy somehow.
It does. Shows that surprising enthusiasm he has sometimes.
Then there's Aya, his go-to Cantonese expression for shock or frustration.
Hear that one a lot. And we must do research.
Yes, with a dramatic emphasis on research.
Always. These phrases just define his way of talking. Great comedic timing.
And the threat before the nerve strike.
Yeah.
You want a piece of Uncle.
Chilling. And when he senses evil, Uncle has the willies, plus the shopkeeper line. You break it, you buy it.
Classic. Each one tells you something about him, his priorities.
Totally. What about the bossy one? You want Uncle to? Yes.
Yeah.
No. Then do what Uncle says.
Huh, yes. And the wise advice, do not rush the chi. With a blunt feedback, you are a terrible salesman.
Usually aimed at Jackie or Toru, but then he can be sweet too, like someone gives someone else a hug.
Shows that range. Stern mentor, but also caring uncle figure.
Exactly, and dismissing material things, the object, not important. Especially after it gets smashed mid-fuck.
Priorities right, and always trying to delegate. Someone must watch the shop.
And the practical complaints, how can Uncle fix something without thing needed to fix it? And of course, the spell.
Yumo Guai Fei Di Zhao, the workhorse.
Can't forget that one. And a couple more. The impatient, do not rush, Uncle.
Contrasting with do not rush the chi, and now things are getting interesting.
Right. And his absolute conviction about garlic, no such thing, too much garlic. Uncle knew you were a vampire.
Followed by must use garlic. Essential instruction.
And the mirror warnings, don't look in the mirror. Then immediately after, I told you not to look in the mirror.
So perfectly Uncle. His little eccentricities, his belief in old remedies and warnings.
And the practical good for digestion comments about food or drink.
Even mid-battle, you're blocking my light.
Yeah.
Still worried about practicalities.
Even when fighting demons. Gotta have good lighting for spellcasting, I guess.
Okay, let's hit some trivia. Really rounds out the picture. He's in almost every episode, right?
Yeah, only missed like 3 in season 2. A real
Right.
constant. And Jackie Chan himself said Uncle was based on his own father and his manager.
That's cool. A nice real-world connection. Explains some of the mannerisms, maybe?
Possibly. And he's similar to Frederick from the Jackie Chan Stuntmaster game, another mentor figure.
Oh, yeah. And we mentioned the year of the dog thing, confirmed in the show. Fits him?
It kind of does. And ironically, voiced by a Japanese-American actor, Sab Shimono, even though Uncle doesn't understand Japanese.
No. That's funny. And we found out his teacher was Chi Master Fong. Spent 15 years training.
Right, explains the expertise. Serious dedication.
And when Master Fong appeared, Uncle instantly chose Toru as his apprentice. No hesitation.
Yeah, surprised Toru and Jade, but Uncle knew. Saw the potential.
And his weapons of choice.
Hmm.
Dried lizard, dried blowfish. Always those two.
Can't beat the classics.
Now back to that hook from the start. The disco dancing. It's true. Before the chi magic took over.
He was getting down on the dance floor. Amazing. And the oil painting passion, too.
Yeah, stuff he did before he became the uncle we know. Shows a whole life lived before the antique shop and the demons.
Really adds depth. He wasn't always just the grumpy wizard.
And Jade confirms the uncle title is honorary for most people, based on that Chinese custom.
Right. And his actual family link to Jackie or anyone, still totally vague. Even Jade's parents just say uncle.
Keeps the focus on his role as the elder statesman of the group.
Exactly. He can read ancient Chinese, but needs Toru for Japanese.
And he's definitely not above hitting machines to make them work.
Who among us hasn't been tempted? And he's a serious mahjong player, claims that Hong Kong championship from 55.
More hidden talents.
Yeah.
Or maybe just boasts, and his peaking opera stage name, Chuckles.
Chuckles. Doesn't quite fit the grumpy image, does it?
Not really. He also used to drink coffee, wasn't picky, and apparently he believes in Nessie.
The Loch Ness Monster. Seriously?
Ah.
Okay, that's wonderfully random. Makes him feel more real somehow.
These little quirks do. And of course, the love for mung bean sandwiches and garlic. Can't forget those.
Defining traits. And interestingly, he's the only main character who never wore an Oni mask or absorbed demon chi.
Kept his hands clean, magically speaking. And his musical theme often has that Chinese string instrument, right?
Yeah, the gentle string music often plays when he's central. Nice touch, connects to his heritage, underscores his consistent morality too, maybe.
So, wrapping this up,
Mm-hmm.
Uncle is way more than just the grumpy old magic guy stereotype.
Absolutely. He's this great mix of ancient wisdom, surprising pastimes like disco.
Powerful magic user who complains about tea temperature. Skilled fighter who's baffled by a fax machine.
His quirks, his catchphrases, his central role. He's just essential to Jackie Chan adventures.
Definitely a cornerstone.
And it's fascinating how a character who seems like support actually has so much going on. It shows the care they put into building these animated worlds, you know?
For sure. Even in shows aimed at kids, you get these really well-developed characters.
Yeah.
So, for you listening, maybe think about this. Uncle's whole deal, that clash between ancient ways and modern confusion.
Oh.
What does that say about tradition versus progress? It's often played for laughs, but maybe there's something deeper there.
That's a good question. Or maybe simpler, if you could ask Uncle one question about chi magic, what would it be?
Ooh, tough one. Hopefully this dive made you appreciate everyone's favorite grumpy but kind of lovable uncle even more. Maybe time for a rewatch.
Definitely worth it.